Hello, all of you beautiful people. I hope that you're doing fantabulous. I know that I am. Um, First and foremost, before we get into this video, I do want to let everyone know that I posted some updates to my work at home job blog. I also updated the Facebook page. There are a couple of people that are hiring right now. For example, this company called Direct Interactions, they are actually seeking people to work from home, answering phone calls to help people with their unpaid parking tickets. So make sure that you're a person who doesn't mind maybe talking to some, irate customers or whatever like that, because these are people who are dealing with unpaid parking tickets. Okay. But they're hiring. And there was another one that I posted. Give me 2 seconds and I'll tell you guys about that one. There are several different people that are hiring right now, but these are two that I wanted to tell you guys about right quick up front. Okay. So Direct Interactions, like I said, they are seeking uh customer service reps to assist people with unpaid parking tickets. And you also have this other company called Tele Network. They're seeking technical support reps to work from home, of course, doing technical support. Okay. Hi, everyone. This is a live chat for those of you that are watching this on the replay. But as you can see from the title, Broke the Boss, How I Changed My Life by Quitting My Job. Now, this video is not going to be for everyone. So if me talking about my experience working from home, me being an entrepreneur, me being an independent contractor, if none of this stuff is interesting to you, this video is definitely not for you. But this video is for people who are possibly, working a brick and mortar job. And what a brick and mortar job is a job where you're basically working for somebody else. You're working outside of your home. So if this isn't something that's interesting to you, then number one, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who are tired of working for someone else and they want to work for themselves. I basically want to tell you guys about the situation of how I became an entrepreneur, an independent contractor, a person who is working for herself, about how my life was before I started working from home. Now, first and foremost, I do not want anybody to think that I'm rich. I'm not rich by any means. I struggle just like everybody else. But the struggle is much different than it was when I was working for someone else. Okay. All right. So it started out when I first started working, I was working for an inventory company where basically we were going around to different locations and we were conducting inventories and different things like that. I did that for like 6 years from the age of, I don't know, maybe 19 until whatever. Okay. Now, after I quit that job, well, first of all, I didn't want to quit that job because I was making okay money for me being young, but it was very stressful because I was never home. You were constantly traveling to different cities, sometimes different states. So it was very, very stressful for me. And I wasn't able to live what I like to call I was young. I wanted to do things. I wanted to go places with, friends and family. And I was always working. So I said, something got to give, and I got to find something that's local, something where I'm not going to be traveling all the time, and I'm going to be able to, live a more productive life and be able to do things. So I ended up finding another job, and this is the job where I told you guys I was working for the abuse shelter for women and children. Now, what I will say, when I was working at the abuse shelter, it was a Christian-based organization, and it was the job itself was amazing. Okay, I loved working with the women. I love working with the children. The thing that I love most about it is it was a relaxed environment. It was a home, of course, for women who were either in abusive relationships or women who were homeless that came to this organization to either seek refuge or they basically needed a safe place for them to stay with their children. So I worked there. And another thing that I loved about it was the fact that we were able to go to church. So if I ever had to work on a Sunday, I was actually able to go to church because it being a Christian organization, they were required to actually attend church. All right. So, but the only thing about that, even though it was a fulfilling job and I liked the job, I was always broke. Okay. I was always broke. So I always said to myself, this ain't the life. Okay. I don't want to be 30 years old, wondering how worrying about how I'm going to pay my light bill, worrying about how I'm going to pay my water bill, worrying about how I'm going to do this. So yes, the job itself was rewarding as far as, being able to work with the women and children that were in the in the home. But at the same time, I was thinking to myself, okay, even though the job is, it's enjoyable, I got to be able to pay my bills and I got to be able to feed myself. Okay. I used to pray every day. And it was kind of like one of those situations where, you kind of have the devil on one shoulder and you have the angel on the other shoulder. Like one person telling you, look, I know you want to, I know you want to leave here and I know you want something better for yourself, but you got these bills to pay. Okay. As opposed to the angel basically telling me, look, you've been praying about this. You need to step out on faith and you need to do what you want, do what your heart desires. And God is he's gonna supply. But at the same time, I was thinking to myself, I understand what you're saying, angel. But at the end of the day, my landlord, they're not gonna care about me, wanting to do all of these things for myself and work for myself and make, basically be able to live a more productive life and enjoy my life as opposed to coming up in here every day. Whereas, I do like working with the women and children, but I ain't making no money. Okay. I'm barely making ends meet, robbing Peter to pay Paul. So one day, and I'm not going to lie to y'all, and this is where faith come in. Okay. This is where faith comes in. I will never forget this. I was sitting in that office and something just told me, you can't do this no more. You can't do this no more. So I went on this work at home job board. This is a job board that I told you guys about a million times over. WorkplacelikeHome.com. Now, I am extremely sad that Workplace Like Home is no longer around. I've heard different stories as to why Workplace Like Home isn't there anymore. I heard that the people who actually ran it, I don't know if somebody got sick and they ended up not paying the domain fees. I don't know. I've heard so many different stories as to why Workplace like Home is not around anymore. So I went on this job board that I had been going on for years. Okay. I had been going to Workplace Like Home for years. And that's why I always tell people, if you're one of those people who has been applying for a work at home job and you haven't landed one, that's why I always tell you, do not stop applying. Do not stop applying. Because I had been applying to work at home jobs for years and was never able to get one. But this particular day, I was like, I can't do this no more. So I was at work. I was the only person in the office and I got on my computer and I went on workplacelikeHome.com. I just went to a random thread that was on there. And this lady was telling me that she was looking for people to join her. I forgot what they call it. Her cohorts or something like that. And this was for Fancy Hands. Okay. I told you guys that I worked for Fancy Hands. That was one of my first jobs working from home. Okay. So she told me that she was looking for somebody to join her cohorts. That's what they call the people that work under them, her cohorts. So I basically just sent the lady a private message and told her that I was interested in, doing the work. And we went from there. So the lady immediately messaged me back. Now, when she immediately messaged me back, I was like, is this God? Because like I said, I had just sat there and I was like, I can't do this no more. Okay, I'm sitting up in this office. I ain't making no money. This is depressing. Okay, I'm not able to enjoy my life with my friends and my family. I'm not able to do anything. I'm constantly at this job, but I'm barely making ends meet. And I was like, this ain't the life. Okay, this is not the life. So I literally logged onto the job board, saw this lady saying that she was looking for somebody to work under her. I sent her a message and she literally messaged me back. That was the day. That was the day my life literally changed forever. I know it might sound stupid to y'all. I literally put in my 2 weeks notice that day. That day, I did not know if this opportunity was going to work itself out. I didn't know if this was going to be some type of rank-a-dank stuff to where I was going to be making less money than I was making at this place. I didn't know none of that. All I know was I had been praying every day, telling the Lord, it got to be something better. I want to work for myself. I've always been a person who has been a business-minded person, a person who wants to work for herself. I've always been that type of person. So I stepped out on faith. I actually put in my 2 weeks notice. And that day when that lady she sent me the link to, so I forgot exactly what the process was. All I know is I literally the next day I had started working. Now the thing back then with Fancy Hands that was kind of amazing. I don't know how Fancy Hands is now, even though they are hiring right now, I think. But back then, the way that Fancy Hands worked is they had what is called a dashboard. There would be tasks that pop up on this dashboard that you had to click on and you had to claim it in order to, and then you had to complete that task. And once you completed it, they paid you for the task. Now, there would be different types of things that these different types of tasks. Like it might be something simple. Like I had this one lady who literally wanted me to call her daughter, or was it her son? I don't remember if it was her daughter or her son, to wake them up for school. Okay. And that paid me like $8. Okay. And all of these tasks that you would grab, most of them would probably take 5 minutes. Some of them would take less than 5 minutes. And each one of them would pay anywhere from $2.50 up to $10. Okay. Anywhere from $2.50 up to $10. So you would have to, now the thing about it, there were so many people working back then. Like I said, I haven't worked for Fancy Hands in a while, so I don't know what the task load is like. I don't know how many people that are in the on the teams. I don't know any of that. All I know is back then I was making more money working for Fancy Hands. And this was like a little, you know, what some people would consider to be a side egg. But back then, the money was there for Fancy Hands. I was making more money just sitting at home behind my computer, claiming tasks, doing little simple stuff. You might have someone who is sending a request where they would want you to find out what time Pizza Hut opened. That's literally what type of job this was. Okay. People would literally send in requests to do stuff like find out what time Pizza Hut on 23rd and 5th open. Stuff like that. Most of these people were probably people with money. Of course, you had to be people with money to be able to, you know, pay folks to find out simple information like this. Or you might have something even more complicated. For example, you may have some people who want you to do research on what's the cheapest flight to take from Washington, D.C. to New Orleans. Okay. So some of the stuff might be a little bit more extensive, where you have to do some research. You have to make some phone calls and call the different airlines to find out the prices of different stuff. But the stuff was, like I said, I was making more money there than I was at the abuse shelter. Now, let's move forward. Like I said, I had prayed and prayed and prayed because I was literally tired of working for somebody else, not making no money. Okay. I literally got tired of doing it, not making no money. And I said, some got to give. Okay. And I stepped out on faith. I decided to just leap into this opportunity. And if it didn't work itself out, it didn't work itself out. I was going to have to just eat it. Okay. I was just literally going to have to eat it. So after that, and this is, again, this is why I always tell people, do not stop applying. I know that it may be hard to land one of these, especially one of these good work at home jobs, because the job market, you know, most people want to quit their job. Okay. Most people want to quit their job and be able to work from home and different stuff like that. So of course you have a lot of people that are applying to these work at home jobs, but do not stop, because I promise you that very time that you say, I'm not even going to bother about applying to this job because I've applied to so many different ones and I ain't never heard anything back. That one time that you didn't apply, that might be the very time that you get an email response from one of these companies. I've gotten so many emails from people by me sharing these work at home job opportunities with folks. Okay. I've gotten so many emails from people saying, Thick Chick, girl, I done got this job, or I done got that job, or I have been applying for work at home jobs for forever. And, you know, this particular time I applied and I got a response from XYZ. So that's why I always say, do not sell yourself short. And I also have people who say stuff like, well, I don't have any experience. It says that I have to have a bachelor's degree, or it says that I got to have 2-3 years of customer service. And that's another thing. I always tell people, if you worked at McDonald's, you got customer service experience. If you worked at Walmart, you got customer service experience. If you've worked anywhere dealing with people, you have customer service experience. A lot of times, all you have to do is sell yourself. I'm not saying get on the phone and just BS nobody. I mean, you just tell people what your qualifications are. I've worked here. I've done X, Y, Z. And 9 times out of 9, they're going to listen to you and you might end up landing the job. And a lot of these companies say that you have to have a bachelor's degree, but that's not necessarily true. Okay. Now let me move forward. Let me tell you guys about other opportunities. Like I said, I literally quit my job and it changed my life. I've been making money from home since, oh my God, I don't even remember when I started making money from home. Oh my God, let's see. It had to be 2012 when I started working from home. 12, 13, 14, 15, 17. I think it was 2012. Maybe it's 2011. I don't remember. Because I know I worked at the inventory company for, I want to say 6 years. Maybe longer. I don't know. I think 6 years I worked at the inventory company. I don't exactly remember. Don't quote me on that. It's been so long ago. But I worked there for like 6 years. I decided that I wanted to, leave there because I was never home, always getting up stupid early in the morning, going to these inventories, sometimes out of town, sometimes out of state. And I was never at home. It seemed like I was constantly working. So after I started doing Fancy Hands, of course, you develop relationships with other people who also work from home, because we had like a group chat that was on Skype. So of course, me being in this group chat, because since I'm working under this lady, she added me to this group chat with different people who she knew from Fancy Hands and other people that she just knew from working from home. Okay, so she added me to the group chat, and of course, I started to, get to know other people who work from home, and that introduced me to other work at home opportunities. Now, working at Fancy Hands, I actually landed this other job working with this company called Relski. I think it was Relski. I don't remember. But that was the most money that I had literally ever made, okay, in my adult life. Those people started you out with $17.25, 40 hours per week. And the thing that I loved about that, and that was just from me talking to a girl who was in the group chat, the Fancy Hands group chat. I didn't know this girl. She was just basically telling us, I work for this company. They hiring. Do anybody want to apply? I was like, yeah. And the thing about it was that I was still able to do Fancy Hands and do that at the same time, because they allowed you to work whenever you wanted to work. Only thing about it, you had to get your 40 hours in before the end of the week. So the week went from Sunday to Sunday. So anytime during that, those 7 days, you were able to work, but you just had to make sure that before the end of the week on Sunday that you had all your 40 hours in. So just say, for instance, you got a doctor's appointment, or your child had something that they had to do at school or something, you didn't have to worry about calling your boss and saying, okay, I got this to do. So can I, leave work early or whatever? You didn't have to worry about that. You were literally able to just clock out and go do what you got to do. And whenever you wanted to clock back in, clock back in. So this was just me meeting her through the chat on Skype while I was working for Fancy Hands. And I did that for almost 2 years. Okay. I did that almost for 2 years. Now, I always like to tell people, never have just one egg in your basket, because working from home is so unpredictable. That's why you have to make sure that you're always on top of your game. So while I was working for this company, I was still working Fancy Hands. Now, while I was working that company, I actually got another job where I was pretty much updating listings for this. They weren't a travel company. They were basically a company that had a lot of different properties, where I was pretty much just updating their pictures on their website. And basically, anytime that they had like a special or something going on, like say, for instance, you were going to be traveling to Black Beach, I would basically be posting all of the different locations that they have for people to stay at. And most of these places were people who own these homes. So it was kind of like a Airbnb type of situation, because most of them were like homes. I even had some hotels that I was updating. So I pretty much just updated their website doing that. And that was pretty much real simple. They sent me the pictures. They sent me how many rooms and things were in the houses. I pretty much just had to update their website. So I was doing that while I was doing Relski and Fancy Hands. So I had 3 jobs at one point. And that's why I always say, I literally stepped out on faith, quit my job, and from that day forward, it has just been an uphill battle. And like I said, I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm rich. I don't want anybody to think I'm rich. And that ventured into me doing YouTube videos, okay? I've been doing YouTube videos for the longest, and if y'all don't know, people who do YouTube videos make money doing YouTube videos. Now, it ain't a gang of money. I'm not going to sit there and tell you no lie, especially with this apocalypse situation. It ain't a gang of money. YouTube used to pay, well, I'm not going to say they used to pay really good. It really depends on how many views that you get on each video. But there are so many hustles that you can do online. Work for yourself, make money. Okay, work for yourself and make money. And now I'm also working on some affiliate marketing. Also, I just joined this other opportunity that I told you guys about, which is Motor Club of America. I've told you guys about that several times. If you guys do not know, I literally just launched my website. The link is down in the description box. Basically, all you're doing is telling people about a roadside assistance company and their benefits, getting them to sign up if they so choose. I'm not one of those people that's going to chase behind anybody and try to get them to sign up for something. I'm going to tell you about the benefits. I'm going to tell you about the business side. And if it's something that you're interested in, you will take advantage of it. If not, then, it is what it is. But basically what Motor Club America is, for those of you that don't know, they're a roadside assistance company that pretty much offers unlimited roadside assistance. So you're literally entitled to one service call per day. Okay. one service call per day. So if you lock yourself out of your car every day, you're entitled to somebody coming to your house back because you have these benefits, and they will unlock your car for you every day. Hopefully ain't nobody locking their keys in their car every day, but I'm just saying, if you just so happen to lock your keys in your car every day, you are entitled to a service call every day. I mean, it just is a ton of benefits. I can't even talk about all of them on here because it'll literally take me a million years to tell you guys about all of this stuff. And that alone, okay, yesterday I made 3 sales yesterday by just telling people about the opportunity. Just because you are a member and you're receiving these benefits, they allow you to tell other people about the benefits, and you earn an $80 commission for each person that you get to take advantage of the roadside assistance plan. And that's it, and that's all. It's very simple, very self-explanatory. It's not very complicated. There are a lot of people out there who like to say that it's a scam, and y'all know my integrity is not for sale. My integrity is 100% not for sale. A scam is a company that, number one, they don't report to the IRS. They actually report your earnings to the IRS. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. They are a 100% legitimate company. Not only that, depending on which state you have to be licensed. Okay. So ain't no scammers doing that. And ain't no scammers depositing money into your account every Friday for each commission that you make. They are a 100% legitimate company. Like I said, I ain't trying to convince nobody to go out here and get this money. I ain't trying to convince nobody to go out here and get this money. I'll go and get it myself. Okay. Like I said, I am 32 years old, and ever since 2012, I have been working for myself. And ever since I have been working on the internet at home, I've been making more money than I've ever made working for somebody else. And that's just the 100% truth. I have my own home office. It ain't nothing fancy. Okay. It ain't nothing super fancy, but I got me a little iMac computer. I got me a desk, a laptop, and I'm just sitting here on the computer, behind this computer every day, making money. More money than I've ever made working for anybody else. So the money is there to be made. Okay. The money is there to be made, and that's it, and that's all. So yeah. The link is down in the description box. Go to the link and it'll tell you about it. Yes. So that's pretty much what I wanted to come and share with y'all, from broke to boss. Okay. Like I said, I was broke as a jizzo, robbing people to pay Paul. Okay. Robbing people literally to pay Paul, not knowing if I should pay my light bill or, girl, keep my internet going. Okay. Girl, I'm just saying, because I had to get on the internet, girl. I know that sounds crazy. It's all I know, but for real. From broke to boss. How I changed my life by simply quitting my job. Because if I'd have still been working for other people, y'all ain't no telling where I'd be. I'd probably still be broke. I'm just saying. But that's what it is. Y'all check out the links in the description box if you're interested in working for yourself or working from home or being an independent contractor or whatever. All of the information is down in the description box for y'all to check out. Like I said, Direct Interactions is seeking workers from home to help customers with unpaid parking tickets. And you also have Telenetwork that's looking for technical support representatives. And there's also another job. I think it was Omni Resorts. So if you live in Atlanta, Omni Resorts is actually seeking people to help folks who are calling to get reservations. They need reservation agents to work from home, but that's only if you live in Atlanta. Okay, that's for Omni Resorts. So if you live in Atlanta and you're interested in helping people make reservations for hotels, check out Omni Resorts. But all of that is listed on my website down in the description box. And yeah, y'all make sure y'all thumbs this video up, share it with all of your friends and your family. Let them know that, step out on faith. I'm not telling nobody to quit their job, but if you know that you believe in yourself and you know that you're going to put in the hard work to be successful, do it. The money is there to be made. That's all I'm saying. Thumbs up the video, share, and subscribe, and ring the notification bell if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.